Last game, you talked about how you really liked the competitiveness that your team brought. To get a win on a day like this, in a game like this, what does that mean to this team right now?
Big time win. Big win for the Grizzlies, and definitely got to shout out big win for the Hustle as well. I mean, this is a product of full-on development. So proud of our group. Obviously, battling a team that we've got some history with, guys stepping into different roles overnight, it seems like. Circumstances, weather-wise, but especially the special nature of today, celebrating MLK. Going down in the first quarter and then just battling throughout. I thought our competitiveness was phenomenal. Keeping them off the three-point line was huge. Only 10 made threes. Guys taking a lot of shots to score. 19 turnovers for 30 points, product of game plan execution, just collective activity. Different guys stepping up on the defensive side. We had 10 blocks, 13 steals. And then just different guys taking advantage of this opportunity like we're talking about. I mean, Vince Williams, unbelievable job defensively, playing with aggression on both sides of the floor, trying to make it tough on Curry as much as possible. Big growth for him. Obviously, Gigi Jackson, back-to-back games, multiple rebounds, but just the shot making, right spot on the floor for his teammates to find him, shooting with tons of confidence, offensive rebounding. Gilly coming in, thought he was great in the second half, not just knocking down shots, but you saw a number of steals and just his playmaking and setting up guys in transition, coming off screens, and connecting the dots for us. This was a huge win for us overall. So tons of credit to these guys. I think even Gigi maybe shouted out the Hustle staff. I got to shout them out as well. I mean, they've been pouring into these guys every opportunity they've gotten to stay ready, and obviously these guys got to continue to take advantage of the opportunities with the Grizzlies when they got it.
Taylor, in the back, you kind of just hit on it. You guys have been searching for wins all year, and now a couple guys in Gigi and Vince that maybe people weren't expecting have really started to break out. For you, how exciting is that, especially Gigi doing it right away, basically?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, it's just a product of our, developmental culture here. We always talk about, it sounds cliche, next man up mentality, whatnot, but behind the scenes, the amount of time that our players, but then our staff put into development, the connectivity between us and the Hustle as well. When guys, whether they're out of the rotation or it's their opportunity to get even more of a runway of playing, when there's not an opportunity right then with the Grizzlies, these guys are really taking it to heart. So I love the competitive fire from all these guys. I mean, obviously, you look at, what Vince has been doing, obviously getting rewarded with, a contract, recently. That's a product of all the work that he put into his own development, seizing the opportunity as well, taking all the things that we said are going to impact winning defensively, floor spacing, shooting with confidence, the extra work he's getting. And then Gigi, of course, all the reports and feedback, just constantly finding ways game to game to get better, and just making an imprint on both sides of the floor. And he's only going to get better too. So credit to those guys and credit to the staff, but definitely excited to see the development continue to unfold, one step at a time.
You've talked about through all this stuff that's happened this year, this group's done a good job kind of staying together, not getting down on itself. But to have moments like this, how important is that to the spirit of the group when you've gone through the last week?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, you want to, I don't know if the appropriate word is like get rewarded for it or whatnot, but you just want to feel the emotions behind it, as we've definitely been tested emotionally with a lot of gut punches from an injury standpoint. But, I say it, you hopefully feel it when you talk to our guys, but I see it every day behind closed doors, in the practice gym, in the film room, in the locker room. Spirit, these guys come in, they enjoy playing with each other, they enjoy competing, they understand the circumstances. I know I'm a broken record here, and they'd probably roll their eyes, but just taking advantage of every opportunity, going out there and playing to our standard and playing hard and playing with each other. And tonight was a great example of it. I mean, obviously with everything, especially going on weather-wise, our fans still showed up. They were loud, they were proud. Our guys were feeding off the energy, and when we continue to scrap, like that, you give yourselves a chance to win. Our guys got a lot of belief, so it's impressive, and we're just going to keep pressing into those emotions moving forward.
Coach, I know you already mentioned Vince Williams and his defense, but collectively as a team, what do you do better today than you didn't do the last couple of games?
I thought we scrapped a little bit more on the defensive side. Obviously, Curry and Thompson present, plenty of challenges from the three-point line. Kuminga's been playing well, obviously getting Green back, but just, how are we going to match teams' physicality? They're going to play iso ball, or with them, they just cut and move so much. So it naturally forces you to be supremely engaged, especially on the defensive side. So turning teams over, blocking shots. I think our rotations have been greater, just more urgency. There was pockets in the game we were a step slow, and we weren't countering some of their ball movement and drives. I mean, they obviously scored it well in the paint, but just I thought our activity defensively was great, and obviously knocking down 23s helps. But the last 2 weeks, I've been seeing our guys play with more pace, more space, and just that ball movement. When we're getting bad spots and we're a late pass, it's a turnover. It's not a rhythm shot, but when we're really connecting the dots like we need to, I've started to see us do that a little bit more, and especially tonight compared to the other night, it was definitely on display.
Taylor in the back. Despite the injuries, y'all have won 5 out of the last 8. Do you feel like this is one of the most positive points in the season? Do you feel like the team's primed to go on a run now?
I'm just focused on today and tomorrow and the next day. So there's a lot of points in the season. I've been proud of this group all season long. Obviously everyone's going to look to the wins and whatever 5 out of 8, as you said and alluded to. Obviously, it's it bleeds into the results, but how our guys have been approaching all season long, but especially these last 2 weeks with all the circumstances and things mounting and all that, just the cohesiveness and togetherness that I see behind the closed doors. The conversations have been phenomenal, not just about X's and O's and putting guys in the right positions and what do we got to do accountability wise, but the spirit just remains from the start. And obviously when you're winning, it fuels it even more. But that's been the most impressive thing, and I hopefully just continues to stay consistent the rest of the way.
Taylor, just what's your personal assessment of the progress that G.G. Jackson has made, going back from, Summer League, you watched him from the bench, you've been getting all the reports from, the hustle up to now and then, watching him up close leading up to this moment. What's your assessment of the growth he's made, and kind of when did you kind of realize that he could, be an impact player for the Grizzlies?
Yeah, he's still got a lot more work to do, and I think he'd probably hopefully be one of the first ones to tell you that. When I've been following him with the hustle and getting the reports from Jay March and his staff and the assistant coaches, just talking about his consistency and growth. That's probably the biggest things that stood out. I know I've said that multiple times, but it'd be something he needs to work on from one game. The next game, he corrected it. And I think it's just his feel for the game. Obviously, this is his first substantial, back-to-back NBA opportunity, and he's going to get some more moving forward for sure. It's just a product of him just getting a feel for where his comfort is, where his athleticism can be displayed, the reads in the games offensively, defensively, where he can make his mark, knowing that's just all a growth process for him. So the biggest thing is just him establishing a feel for jumping out, right, from college to the NBA, playing a lot in the G League, and now, 2 games in a row in the NBA, playing really well. We're just going to keep pushing on him, saying find ways, keep correcting the things that you can do better, and the things that you're doing better, keep working on that, make that consistent. But it's just his feel. That's the biggest thing that I think he's settling into, and hopefully continues to get better one day after another.
Based on what you'd seen in practice from him and his limited playing time and before he entered the rotation, are you surprised at how consistent and how diverse Vince Williams' impact has been for like 6 weeks now?
I've been really impressed. He shows us more each game. I mean, we knew last year and even coming into the summer, a guy that, had potential to be, a pretty good defensive player, a guy that can pick up full court. He can guard, pick and rolls and blow up screens. He can be a guy that can deny guys off the ball, had a potential to be a really good rebounder as well. But then you see his length and how he uses his hands. He's shown me more things there. We always talk about game plan discipline, his ability to go out there and execute different game plans night and night, not just one coverage, but he's getting a different assignment, different matchup game to game. His consistency there has been impressive. And then, I always come back to the offensive stuff too, just his embracing of, where he's going to make his mark. Right now, he's having a great offense for us too, just given, some of our injuries, but playing with force and then just how he spaces the floor has been one of the biggest things. He's done a lot of extra work, playing off of pick and rolls, driving kicks, him being in the right spot enables the teammates to find him, and then he's shooting it with confidence, or if it's not a shot, it's a driving kick, and he's trying to make an unselfish play. So things we had seen, but now that he's doing it consistently at a pretty high level, and with an aggressiveness to it, that's the thing that really stands out to me. Great. Thanks, everyone. Be safe, okay?